So we are cyclists at the end of the day, but where are we?
We're in the Pennines.
So come on.
Let's go for a ride.
He's got it. Come on. Well, it's Good Friday. Good morning. And today we're in Glossop. We've done 20 miles so far. And I'm out with Mike and Andy. How's it going, guys? We're not talking, are they? So today we're going to the Peak District. So we're 20 miles in and we've got to get over the Snake Pass climb next. That's one of the major high-level routes in the Pennines. It takes us from this side of Greater Manchester into Derbyshire. So this is the climb of the Snake Pass now. It's just begun. Straight out of Glossop and you're onto it. Andy's a bit apprehensive. He's not got his full fitness yet. Me and Mike are doing okay because of all of our recent big rides. But we leave the road shut actually, so we'll find out further on up. So we've got our first right-hander now of the climb. Quite a few cars as well coming around here at the moment. And then we get a left-hander. I've just passed the other two guys now. Then you can see the view ahead all the way up to the right.
So this is the Snake Pass. It's the A57 and it's a high level road which takes you from Manchester into South Yorkshire. But as you get over the summit, you've got to drop into Derbyshire first and into the Peak District. So the climb is 3.78 miles long, with an elevation gain of over 1,140 feet. When you get to the top, you'll be at 1,683 feet above sea level. It's classed as a second category climb, with an average gradient of 5.7% and a maximum gradient of 8.4%. And in winter, it's normally the first road to close in the area. And it can also be a dangerous road. But what goes up must come down. And for the descent, it's well worth the effort. And so here we are now with Mike on the front, just taking the lead as we crest the summit. And we all know what's coming next. There's Mike ahead, and I've got a little gap to bridge. And we can bring that down pretty quickly. Mike freewheeling, but at this point now, the bike starts to pick up some pace. We're into the mid to high 30s. I'll overtake Mike there, and now we're going to be tucking in and holding around 40 miles per hour. We had the road to ourselves. This was an absolutely dream of a descent to go down. Lovely right-hander, just look at that. I'm leaning in, I'm being cautious, but we're carrying the pace. Another left-hander there, cut into the inside. We're at 43 miles per hour here. We actually maxed out at 43.3 on this section. And I can hear over my shoulder someone coming through. There's Andy coming through. What a fantastic bit of overtaking. He'll cut on the inside there, take the best racing line he can, and we're not racing. He's keeping the speed up there. But he'll reach some kind of terminal velocity on this section where you just can't break away. You need lots and lots of power to break away. I'm holding that gap there comfortably. I know I've got Mike behind me. And sometimes having the Garmin on your handlebars, it's not always a great thing because you realise how fast you're going around these corners. And we're still cruising at above 40 miles per hour. Look at the trees all around there. It does feel like you're in the Alps. I pass Andy again there, and this is what we found. We were doing rotations. None of us could break away from each other. The moment you get to the front and you hit the air, that's it. It's like a brake being put onto you, and you're using so much power just to keep that momentum going. The person behind you can save lots of energy. And likewise, when they come through, they hit the wind, they hit the air, and then they just can't go any further. And if we share some data with you, you can see the blue line indicating the speeds that we were reaching. The dotted line is the average of 40 miles per hour through that section, and we was always somewhere or thereabouts. And highlighted in red was the maximum speed of over 43 miles per hour. Just moving further on down the descent now, we reached a bit of a point where we cruised around 36 miles per hour, and we couldn't go any quicker. It was actually very tough on the legs to keep going at this pace. So we've got Andy on point, Mike coming through, and some nice hand signals there. with a bush on the gutter side. But at this section now, we were all starting to work together. I'm at the back and I will benefit the most from the hole that they've punched through the air. And again, as I come through here, it does look like I'm overtaking with a lot of pace, but the moment I get to the front, he just slapped in the face by the wind. But we had a real blast coming down here, and this is a really, really good descent to take on. I'm just moving further on down the road now. Look at the view opening up. We've come out of the tree canopy. We've got open aspects ahead, and this valley is absolutely gorgeous. Andy's coming through now. He's keeping the pace right where we want it to be. And again, I keep saying it, it's cycling heaven. And actually watching this video on playback, it makes you appreciate how good this descent is. We descended for 12 miles in total from the summit. And on this ride today, you know, we're stopping at points and having a chat. We was going downhill for 30 minutes. And that is a long descent. And I'm just glad that I put some miles in beforehand in order to enjoy this descent and take it on.
Well, that were a fantastic bit of descending there. Bit of a crosshead wind though, it made it hard work. Look at the views though. Traffic lights on the Snake. Not to worry. Well, we're approaching Ladybower now, which is quite a long descent. In fact, this section, it's undulating. But the scenery is absolutely spectacular. So we're 36 miles into the ride, and this place is called Bamford, and then we're looking for signs for Hope next. So we're just cycling down a busy A6187. It'll take you to Castleton in the heart of the Peak District. Really busy, bank holiday traffic.
So let's have a look at the ride on the map, and that's where we're based in the United Kingdom. And looking in a bit more detail, you can see highlighted there in that lovely cyan colour the route out, where we've now just approached Hope, and we've cycled 39 miles to this point, where we're going to have lunch at the Courtyard Cafe. So let's get back to the ride, where we had another cafe in mind, which was used before, but it was absolutely packed.
So what cafe? We've got choices, we've got 1 and 2.
Does that tell you this?
Not sure yet, but Mike's gonna have all that Victoria sponge, I think.
He's upset somebody's had a slice already.
Mike, there's no black pudding.
No black pudding? Having a laugh?
We've already got that, haven't we?
Oh, well, it's much to be sausage in it, there's sausage and bacon.
Plan B, sausage and bacon.
Yeah. So, welcome back, Andy.
Thank you very much, nice to be back.
Good to see you out with us. Sausage and egg.
Lovely
Andy's on
jubbly.
beans.
I'm on the beans.
Sausage and bacon for Mike.
Yeah, no black pudding though.
We've also had a conversation that the consensus in this cafe is you put the cream on first, the jam on second.
And Andy's on beans on toast as well.
We're not going to that.
We are. Scone time.
Or is it scone?
Yeah.
Scone or scone?
That's the way we do it. Like that. Andy is doing the same. This one over here, he's not. He's not doing it.
You did, Mike. You make the cream like butter.
So the scone debate continues. Feel free to comment down below.
Good little cafe, that. Well, that was a great little cafe stop. That's the signpost for Edale Road. So we're going to make our way now down this fantastic little country lane where we've got a really good climb at the end of it, which takes us up towards Mamtor. So this is the Edale Road. It really is a gorgeous little road. You've got lovely hills all around. We're now in Edale at 42 miles. It's twinned with Kirkyetham. So the start of the Pennine Way is here. Kirkyetham is at the other side, just on the border with Scotland.
So let's have a look at the map and the route home we took. And this was a really challenging section where we had to take on the climb of Mam Nick, which we'll come to shortly. And after that, we had the Sheffield Road descent or better known as Rush Up Edge, as we made our way towards the climb and descent of Hayfeild, before the next climb of Chunal with Glossop ahead, and there was some great high-speed descending on some of these roads.
So then, this is it. This is where the big climb starts, up there, with Mam Tor just ahead. Edale's here, this is where the Pennines Way starts. And you fancy walking over 250 miles, I think it's 270 miles. So Mike and Andy are ahead of me. I've been filming the scenery around here, but it's quite steep, this one. You see a sign there, a chicane ahead. We're going to bear left and go all the way over there, and the road starts to ramp up here. Might be able to cut through this, like a chicane section. This is a really steep section here. Got a fantastic backdrop though behind me, and I'm on my easiest gear now with a 32 on the back. Come on, keep going. Now the road goes left and that way and then up again. Nearly at the top now. That's a nice little climb, that. So there's the summit. That was nice, that.
And so the summit of Mam Nick is at 1,500 feet above sea level, and next we had a gentle climb, making our way up to Rush Up Edge before that brilliant descent down Sheffield Road. And so here's Andy taking the lead, and the pace is building up. We're around 38-39 miles per hour here. I come through, take my turn onto the front, and the pace now gradually builds up to around 43 and 44 miles per hour. This is a really nice descent, it's a very safe descent. There comes Andy coming through again. That's a really nice tucked in position, and Mike's in hot pursuit. I'll now get tucked in third in line there, just enjoying the benefits of a bit of drafting. We're carrying the pace at all times here above 40 miles per hour. You can see Mike, his cadence looks good. He comes through onto the front and I come straight through again in the rotation, tucking in, just keeping that pace really nice and high. You can see a left-hander there just approaching, and then Andy comes through again, and a bit like on the snake descent, none of us could make that breakaway and get a clear gap because we just reached a terminal velocity. I'm really tucked in there. You can see I'm just benefiting now again, right behind Andy, coming through and overtaking. And what we found worked best was to put some effort through the pedals, tuck in and be as aerodynamic as possible. Again, Mike goes on the front, I'll come through. I really had a blast down here. This is a great descent. There's Andy. We were all vying for a good position on the road here. Yeah, really enjoyed that. And that was a great hand signal there by Andy. We've got cars on the right that are waiting to turn right, and it's really important that we all look out for each other on the road.
Yeah, that's called the descent of Rush Up Edge. Well, that was a bit of fun then. We were cruising around 40, peaking at 43. It was tough with the wind. As soon as you get on the front, you've had it. So we did a lot of slipstreaming there and a lot of overtaking each other. So we're on the climb of Chunal now, and we're taking it easy because Dan's on his road to fitness. He needs to get some more miles in his legs.
He has put on too much weight. Put.
LEG's out again. You okay, Andy?
Yep. I'm right here.
He's here. He's still here. It's always tough when you're trying to get that fitness back. So we'll get him over the climb. He's a good rider on his day, is Andy, though. No shadow of a doubt. Well done, Andy. We made it.
To help me
What's up next?
Downhill now.
Yeah.
So this is the descent of Chunal. It's the A624, which takes us down towards Charlestown. And at the moment we've got Andy on the front, building up the pace again. And this is the 4th descent of the day. The previous descent we maxed out at 43 miles per hour as we went down Hayfeild. I've come to the front here and I'm tucking right in. And this felt like it was going to be quick. And in the end it was quick, it was very quick. We had long straight sections, the wind was in our favour and it was a blast. There comes Andy. Andy's coming through here and just look at that pace there. Andy's not pedalling. You can see the sign there, we've got a steep section ahead. I come through, I've got to put tons of effort through the pedals just to get past Andy. I've tucked right in. My stomach's almost touching the top tube there. And the pace is getting above 45 miles per hour here. We've got a left-hander approaching. Andy comes through and he's not pedalled at all yet. And look at that gap grow. That's amazing. He really was flying there. The only danger now is we've entered a 40 miles an hour zone and we're cruising at almost 50 miles per hour. Andy actually maxed out at 50 miles per hour on this section. It's getting built up, we're going really quick, and you've got to be very careful. But again, what a blast.
I just hit 49 then off that descent from Chunal. I don't know what Andy were doing. Andy, I got 49.
Mine was pretty much the same. Might have been 50, I don't know.
Yeah.
Head was down.
Yeah, we're too busy looking where we were going.
Good fun though, mate.
Yeah, that completes the loop anyway if you look on the map. And we're at 60 miles.
Yes.
And then it was time to call in for some refreshments at a nearby petrol station.
He's doing really well, is Andy. You know, he's feeling it, but on the descents he's cracking it big time. Quick top up.
Yep.
We've got to climb now towards Mottram and towards Edale Bridge next, isn't it?
Hey, mate. Oh, sorry.
Are you alright?
Mind? We are filming. You're filming? This is going out on Eurosport.
Why is he talking like that all the time? He's got a personality disorder, him.
Yes, he's not sure who he is.
There's like 3 people out on the ride.
Well, that brings this video to an end, people, and what a fantastic ride it was, where we showed you 3 classic descents in the Peak District. And here's some data for you. The ride distance was 80 miles, the elevation gain was 6,020 feet, the ride time was 5 hours and 12 minutes, with the maximum speed of 50 miles per hour. But coming up on our next video, we're back out into the Yorkshire Dales with some fantastic descending as we make our way to the Millrace Cafe at Aysgarth, where we're always in search of a black pudding or a bacon and sausage butty. But if you like these videos, let us know and we'll keep on making them for you. And thank you for watching. I'm a cyclist and I live in the Pennines. Until the next time, people,